Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the lecture of Operation Research. We will just have a look on the last lecture. In the last lecture, we have studied simplex method algorithm. This method was developed by an American mathematician, George Dancy. Okay. Therefore, in this method, two conditions are important: conditions of feasibility and conditions of optimality. Condition of feasibility just ensures that the values of all the decision variables are non-negative, and condition of optimality ensures simply the value of objective function is optimum, depends upon whatever it is, either maximum or minimum. If you just look to the simplex method algorithm is very easy. The first step tells us that if the objective function should be in the maximization form. If it is not in the maximization form, one can convert this to maximization by using this relation. Minima of z is minus of maximum of minus z. Second step is all the right hand side constant should be negative or non-negative. If it is negative, then we have to multiply the constraint by minus 1. Third step tells us that all the inequality constraints should be converted to equalities by adding the necessary variables such as slack or surplus variable. Fourth step tells us obtain the initial basic feasible solution with this relation. Xb is equal to b inverse b. Okay. Then what will be a selection of basic and non-basic variable? Generally, we were selecting all the added variables to be the basic variable. All slack variables whichever we were using are the basic variable, and all the original variables are treated as non-basic initially. Then later, while improving the solution for the optimality, we are going to remove one by one the basic variables, and we are going to introduce this new variables from non-basic to basic. First, this solution is being calculated. A small hint is here: whatever is xb at the initial level is nothing but the right hand side constant. Then, in order to find out the incoming variable criteria, one has to calculate this net evaluation corresponding to every column with the formula delta j is equals to zj minus cj, cbxj minus cj. We have to examine the sign of this delta j. If all delta j's are non-negative, whatever is the initial basic feasible solution must be an optimum one. If at least one delta j is less than 0, we have to go to next step. Now in the next step, what it was told us, if we obtain more than one negative delta j, we have to choose the most negative of them. And whatever is the most negative of them, this variable will give us the incoming variable or incoming vector. If suppose we have some m basic variable and one variable we are adding to the basic set, then one has to leave the basis. Therefore, most negative delta j is the criteria of selecting the entering variable. Then to select the outgoing variable or leaving variable, we have to we have to take care of the column corresponding to delta r. If all the values in the column xir are less than or equals to 0, then there is an unbounded solution. If at least one xir is positive, then the corresponding vector will enter the basis. If more than one xi are greater than 0, then we have to compute this ratio. Which ratio? Xbi upon xir positive for all I equals to 1 to m. That is xb1 x1 r, xb2 x2 r, and so on. And whatever is the ratio we have calculated, we have to choose minimum of the ratios, and whatever the variable will give us the minimum, say xk gives us the minimum of the corresponding ratio, this variable should leave the basis. Therefore, kth row will leave the basis, r column will enter the basis. Variable corresponding to kth row will leave, variable corresponding to rth column will enter the basis, and the intersection of this two vectors or variables is xtr, and we are going to call this as pivot element or key element or leading element. The next and last step we are going to follow is we will convert the leading element to unity, all the remaining elements to 0, and we have to go to step 5 and repeat the computational procedure. Let us have a look to the example we have discussed. This is the example where the objective function is originally given in the maxima form, therefore there is no need to change. If I observe the right hand side constant, the right hand side constants are 4 and 2, therefore no need to multiply by the negative because those are non-negative already. Therefore the third step we will follow, we will add slack variable to both the inequality constraint in order to convert the inequality constraint to equation. For the two variables we have added is x3 and x4. Then this will be my new objective function. 3x1 plus 2x2, 0x3 and 0x4. Why we are writing 0x3 and 0x4? Because in the original objective function there is no role of x3 and x4. The coefficient of these variables in the objective function, that is cost. Cost must be 0. Then writing the given LPP in the matrix. Okay, this is the matrix. Here we have in our matrix coefficient matrix of order 2 by 4. That is two equations in 4 variables. Two equations in 4 variables. Therefore, we have to keep any two variables to 0 such that the system will be reduced to two equations in two variables. Therefore, we are keeping the original variables as non-basic, that is 0, and x3, x4 added as the basic variable, that is non-zero. Generally, for the initial stage, we are selecting the variables forming the identity matrix. The variables which forms the identity matrix are the basic variable that you have to keep in mind. Why this is so? Because this matrix, whatever the submatrix is created by x3 and x4, its determinant value is non-zero. Actually, it is 1. Therefore, one thing has to remember: variables which corresponds or which forms the identity matrix will be taken as the basic variable, and remaining will be non-basic. Right? Therefore, these are the basic variables. These are the coefficient matrix corresponding to these two variables. B is the submatrix of A. Then we have found the initial basic feasible solution. What is initial basic feasible solution? Initial basic variables are x3, x4. B we have selected to be identity matrix. Note everywhere we are going to select identity. Why? Because it will help me to write the initial basic feasible solution easily. Otherwise, if you choose some other columns, other variables as the basic, you have to find the inverse also. Just to reduce this step, we are selecting basic variables as the variables constituting the identity matrix. Therefore, if you observe for the initial basic feasible solution, for the first stage are nothing but the right hand side constants. Correct now? 4 and 2 are the right hand side constants of the constraints. Right? Then we have plotted the initial simplex table. Table is constituting of basic variables CB, XB, X1, X2, X3 and X4. Right? These two are the basic variables. What CB stands for? CB stands for cost of basic variable. Cost means coefficient of these variables in the objective function. What is the coefficient of the variable in the objective function? 0 and 0. This top row is nothing but the cost of all the variables. Right? What is XB? XB is the initial feasible solution, initial basic feasible. What is the value? 4 and 2 here we will put. And then from x1 to x4, these are nothing but my coefficient matrix. That is values of the coefficient corresponding to x1, corresponding to x2, x3 and x4. Right? Is there any doubt till this? Up to this, if you have a doubt, you can ask. Construct from the table. Students, any doubt up to this step? If not, I will go further. Okay. In the next step, we are going to check the value of objective function for this basic variables, right? How we are going to find out the value of objective function? This is CBXB. What is CBXB value? CB is a vector 0, 0, XB is a vector 4, 2. If I take a multiplication 4 into 0 plus 2 into 0, it's 0. Therefore, for the initial simplex table, value of objective function Z is 0. Next, we are going to calculate net evaluation. Net evaluations correspond to all the 4 variables. Right? For delta 1, we will calculate CBX1 minus C1. What is CB? 0, 0. X1, 1, 1, right? This vector, 1, 1. CBX1 minus C1 will be CB as it is 0, 0. Therefore, this product gives us 0, 0 minus 3, 0. So likewise, we have calculated the net evaluation for all the remaining. Now, the optimality test tells us that if all delta j's are non-negative, then the solution is optimal. But here we have obtained two values of net evaluations to be negative. then this is not a optimal solution. Therefore, we have to improve the solution by changing the basic variable. In order to change the basic variable from x3, x4 to some other, we have to check which variable will give us a better solution of the objective function, rather better value of the objective function. Therefore, method says, algorithm says that most negative delta j will, the variable corresponding to most negative delta j will enter the basis. Now, out of this -3 and -2, which is most negative or minimum? Any one thing you can remember. Most negative or minimum. Right? What is the most negative value? -3. Minimum value is -3. Therefore, -3 correspond to which variable? X1. Therefore, X1 is the variable is going to enter the basis. Going to enter the basis. Now, there are only two variables can be adopted as the basis variable. If one variable is entering, then one has to leave the basis. Therefore, to select the leaving variable or outgoing variable, we will calculate minimum ratio. How the minimum ratio is calculated? A formula is given xbi upon xi r, where r is the incoming variable. Here the value of r is 1, therefore I have written xbi upon xi1. Let me write both the values again. This is xb1 upon x11, and the second one is xb2 upon x21. This is first basic variable value. This is second basic variable value. Therefore, xb1 is 4, x11 is 1. Therefore, what is the ratio? 4 by 1. Here I have written 4 by 1 is 4. Second is 2 by 1 is 2. Whichever is the minimum ratio will leave the basis. Variable will leave the basis. Therefore, here this second ratio is minimum and this corresponds to x4. Therefore, x4 will leave the basis. Therefore, here one can say first column, variable corresponding to first column will enter the basis. Variable corresponding to second row will leave the basis. For the intersection of these two, which is 1, is called as the pivot element. It's called as the pivot element. Now, what is the next step in the simplex algorithm? Convert the leading element to 1, remaining entries in the column to 0. Here the leading element is already 1, no need to convert. Only we have to convert this 1 to 0. 1 to 0, no doubt, by using the second row. Right? Why we are doing this process? Because if I do this, what will be the column corresponding to x1? This will be 0, 1, which is nothing but the second column of your identity matrix, because this is going to represent your second basic variable. Correct now? Here in this table also you can observe x3 gives us the first column of identity matrix. X4 gives us the second column of identity matrix. If x1 is going to enter in the second position, its corresponding column should constitute the second column of identity matrix. But always we were converting leading element to unity, remaining elements in the column to 0. Okay. For this, which row operation we have used? R1 minus R. Good. Then let me do the row operation. After doing the row operation, this was the situation. Again, we will calculate net evaluations with the same formula CBX1 minus C1. Then here, if we observe, three net evaluations are non-negative, only one is negative. Therefore, no doubt this is going to enter the basis. Therefore, which variable is going to enter the basis now? X2 variable is going to enter the basis. Now, what to calculate? Minimum ratio for the criteria of outgoing variable. What is the formula? XBI upon XIR. Here R stands for 2 because second column is entering. XBI upon XI2. Okay. But whenever we are writing this formula of minimum ratio, we want XI2 greater than 0. Right? In the algorithm it is stated. Therefore, here if we look at the column corresponding to X2, this is the position X12. This is the position X22. Okay. Therefore, this 22 is negative. Therefore, we cannot find out the entry ratio corresponding to this. Therefore, we are going to drop this. Only one value is being calculated. XB1 upon X12. And what is XB1? This and this. 2 by 2 is 1. Simple way to remember this is XB column upon this corresponding entering column. XB column upon corresponding entering column. Okay, so for here only one value we have calculated, therefore surely this value is going to, this variable is going to leave the basis and the variable is x3. Therefore x3 is going to leave the basis, that of x2 is going to enter the basis. And what is the intersection of both the entering and outgoing variable? It's 2, right? Second column, variable corresponding to second column will enter the basis. Variable corresponding to first row will leave the basis. The intersection is 2 called as pivot element. Now we want to convert this pivot to 1, remaining entries to 0. Which two row operations I should use? R1 by 2 is the first row operation. Second row operation, what should I use? R2 plus R1 by 2. So that this entry will be 0. So let us write the last table. This is the table. Calculate the net evaluations again. And if we observe all the net evaluations are non-negative, therefore we are going to stop the process. And what is my solution? Okay, one thing. For every simplex table, you can observe the value of z gets improved. For the initial simplex table, the value of z is 0. For the first simplex table, the value of z is 6. For the second simplex table, the value of z is 11. Means the value of objective function is being increased, right? So whatever the process we have done is correct. Therefore, here all the net evaluations are non-negative. We will stop the process and we will write the solution. What is the solution? X1 takes value 3, X2 takes 1. These CB entries are not the values, these are the cost. There is a difference between value and cost, correct? Cost is the coefficient of these variable in the objective function. Okay, is there any doubt still?
No, no.
Okay, let us take this problem number 2 again. Let me write it and we will start for today's lecture. Let me write the problem. Example number 2 I will take. Before that, shall I give the tips for quick solution? Tips for quick solution. What is the tips for quick solution? First is criteria of incoming variable. You have to remember this, correct? What is the criteria of incoming variable? We have to find out minimum delta j. We have to find out minimum delta j. If it is for j equal to r, then what is the criteria for outgoing variable? Okay, what is the criteria for outgoing variable? This is minimum of the ratio xbi upon xir provided xi are greater than 0. These are the two formulas you have to remember. Okay. Third tip is for the first table. IBFS is nothing but IBFS is right hand side constant. Correct? Huh? IBFS is right hand side constant. Then what for delta j? For first iteration, rather for first iteration only I will. For first iteration, delta j's are same as minus cj's. Therefore, no need to calculate the delta j's for the first table. Number next is whatever this minimum delta j we are going to write, you should make a arrow like this for entering. Here you should make a arrow like leaving. Okay. Then what you have to do? Key element you have to mark. Mark key element. And what the process you have to remember? Convert key element to unity. Convert key element to unity and other elements in the column to 0. Other elements in the column to 0. Okay. And what is the one more hint I can give is columns corresponding to basic variable. Columns corresponding to basic variable are forms. Forms identity matrix. Forms identity matrix. Therefore, for basic variable, no need to use your row operations. You can go for you can go directly, right? If anyone, I think all I have covered. Let me start the example. What is that example? Maximize z is equal to 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 5x3 subject to the constant. All the students has to do the calculations with me. Therefore, be ready with pen and paper. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
First constraint, second constraint is 3x1 plus 2x3 less than or equals to 460. Correct? Next, x1 plus 4x2 less than or equals to 420. x1, x2 is greater or equal by 0. Now we will go by stepwise process. What the first step tells, check the objective function. Is it maxima? Yes, it is the maximum. Therefore, no need to convert. Check the right hand side constant. Are they non-negative? Yes, they are non-negative. No need to check. Therefore, we will go directly for converting the inequality constraint to equation. Therefore, which three variables I should use? Original variables are x1, x2, x3. Therefore, the added variables I will write x4, x5 by x6. Okay. Here I will write adding slack variable x4, x5 and x6 to the constraints. What is the first constraint? x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 plus x4 is equals to 430. Next, 3x1 plus. Now here x2 is missing. Therefore, I will write 0x2 plus 2x3 plus x5 is equals to 460. Next, x1 plus 4x2 plus x3 is missing, 0x3 and added with x6 is equal to 420. Right? Now you tell me the number of basic variables should be selected. Now we have three equations in 6 variables in all. Correct now? How many variables should be kept? 0.
Three, ma'am. Three variables.
3 variables we will keep 0. For which variable we will select as basic variable?
X4, X5.
X4, X5, X6.
Yes. x4, x5, x6 be the basic variables. Why? Because this gives you the columns of identity matrix, no?
Yes.
1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So generally, the added variables, slack variables will be the basic variables. Okay. What is initial basic feasible solution? Right hand side constant. Right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we are doing the direct table. We are not writing anything else. What is IBFS and all. Therefore, by looking at these three equations, you can prepare the table. Let me write what is my table. Basic variable CB, XB, X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, X6 and minimum ratio. Okay. Now at the top we are going to write CJ entries. What is the objective function? 3, 2, 5. Correct now?
Yes, ma'am.
3, 2, 5. What is the cost of the remaining variable? X4, X5,
Zero,
X6
zero.
in the objective function? 0, 0.
Zero.
This is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Okay. The basic variables, what we have selected, this is x4, x5, x6. What is the cost of these basic variables now?
0.
0. 0.
0. Therefore, this is 0, 0, 0. What is xb? Initial basic feasible solution? Right hand side constant. Correct now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Why right hand side constant? We have discussed it already. The initial basic feasible solution is actually xb is equal to b inverse b. What is this b we are selecting? Identity matrix. What is xb? x4, x5 and x6. If this is identity matrix, what is b inverse b? This is b. And what is b? 430, 460 and 420. These are the ticks. Okay. Therefore, I will write the right hand 430, 460, 420. 430, 460, 420. Now the columns corresponding to x1. You have to tell me. X1 column
1,
1,
1,
3.
1, 3.
3, 1.
Good. This is 1, 3, 1. What for x2?
2,
2,
0,
0,
4.
4.
2, 0, 4.
0, 4. x3?
1, 2, 0.
1, 2, 0.
For x4 we can write now 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Drawing a straight line is challenging for me on this pen tablet. So you please bear with me, okay? What is the value of z? CBXB 0 into 0, 0, 0 into 430, 460,
0.
420. Is it 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Here I put your columns like this only. You have to draw full columns, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the native valuations now? Next step is native valuation. No? Delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, delta 4, delta 5, 6. One more here I forgot in the tips. What is the tip? Net evaluations corresponding to basic variables are 0. Net evaluations corresponding to basic variable are 0. Okay, let us use all the tips now. For the first table, delta j's are nothing but negative CJs. Correct? Why? Let us check. Negative Cj is -3, -2, -5, 0, 0 and 0. Let us check. CB, what is the formula for delta 1? CB x1 minus C1. Correct now? What is CB x1? Orally we will do. CB x1 0, 1, 0. Added with 0, 3, 0. Added with 0, 1, 0. Minus 3. Therefore this is minus 3. Correct now?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, most negative value of delta j will enter the basis. The variable corresponding to most negative. Therefore, which is most negative value here?
Delta 3, -1.
Delta 3. Therefore, this variable is going to enter the basis. This symbol is towards the table. Therefore, the variable is entering in the table. Okay, entering in the basis. Okay. Now, look at the entries of the x3 column 1, 2, 0. Now, if once I identify the entering column, we have to identify the outgoing row. Then how should I calculate this ratio? XBI upon, yes?
XI, 3.
XI 1, 3.
3, na? Third column. Correct, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Provided xi3 greater than 0. Here, if we observe these two values are positive, but his third value is 0, therefore here we are not going to find out the minimum ratio. This value will be dropped down. Therefore, we will calculate the first two values for the minimum ratio. What is the formula? XB1 upon X13. Right now?
Yes, ma'am.
This is 430 upon 1, which is 430. Next value for I equals to 2, this is xb2 upon x23. This is xb2, this is x23. This is 460 upon 2. How much is the value? 230. Okay, for which two columns we have taken our division? xb column divided by x3 column. Correct, no? Among the two, which one is the minimum? 430 and 230.
230.
230 is minimum, therefore this Variable corresponding to this ratio will leave the basis. And what is the variable corresponding to this? X5. X5 is going to leave the basis. X3 is going to enter the basis. Therefore, what is my pivot element? 2 is
2.
my pivot element. Now, what is the next step? Convert this pivot to unity, remaining entry to 0. This entry is already 0, therefore there is no change. We have to make this entry to 0. So, which row operations one should use? R2 by 2.
R2 by 2. Yes, ma'am.
Good. And R1 minus
R2 by 2.
R2 by 2. Remember one thing, you should do the row operations or you should convert the remaining elements to 0 by using this row containing pivot element. Correct? म्हणजे हे रो थर्ड रो वापरून हा एलिमेंट 0 करायचा नाही. हा एलिमेंट 0 करण्यासाठी आपल्याला काय वापरायचं आहे? सेकंड रोच वापरायचे. ओके, दिस थिंग यू हॅव टू कीप इन माइंड. लेट अस डू द चेंजेस. ओके, and here only we will continue. We are going to continue the table. No need to draw three different tables. You can write one below the another. Okay. Now what are the basic variables? X4 is already there. Instead of X5, now we have X3, na? And X6 also as it is. I think it is better to write same lines. X4 X4, X3 and X6. Is that clear? Instead of X5 we have written X3 and entering variable, correct? Now what are the cost of these variables now? Cost for X4 and X6 again 0, 0. What is the cost of X3? We will check. Cost of X3 is 5. Right? Then what about XB? Third row is going to be as it is. Therefore, let us write the third row as it is. 420, 1, 4, 0, 0, 0, 1. What to do for the second row? Dividing by 2. Okay, let us divide by 2. 460 divided by 2, 230. Here it is 3 by 2. Here it is 0, 1, 0, 1 by 2 and 0. Correct? Correct, na? Now let us do this operation. R1 minus R2 upon 2. So here 430 minus 460 upon 2. 460 upon 2 is 230. 430 minus 230 is 200. 1 minus 3 by 2. Hmm. 1 minus 3 by 2? Minus half? Minus half. Here there is no change because this is 0. 2 as it is. Here 0. Here it is 1. Here it is minus half 0. Okay? Now we will check Z. What is the value of Z at this stage now? Yes, students, what is the Z? CVXB. 0 into 200, 0. 5 into 230 plus 0 into 420. What is 5 into 230? 5 into 200 is 1000.
1,105.
1000. Whether the value increases? Yes, it is increased.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we will find out delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, delta 4, delta 5, delta 6. Now, which are the basic variables? 4, 3, 6. We will write the value 0. 4, 0, 3, 0, 6, 0. We will calculate only for the remaining thing. What is delta 1? 0 into this 0. 5 into 3 by 2 minus 3. PB x1 minus C1. Minus C1, C1 takes the value 3. So what is the value? 5 into 3 by 2 minus 3. 15 by 2 minus 3. 9 by 2. 15 by 2 minus 3. No, 2 3 is 6. 15 minus 6, 9. 9 by 2. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now delta 2. CB x2 minus C2. No? 0, 2, 0, 5, 0, 0, 0, 4, 0 minus what is C2 value? 2. No? So this is minus 2. We will calculate for 5 also, delta 5. What is delta 5? CB into x5 minus C5. 0 into minus half, 0. 5 into half, 5 by 2 plus minus again 0 into 0. So this value is 5 by 2. Correct? I hope these steps are clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now here we again you can observe whether all the values are non-negative of net evaluations. No. Therefore this value is negative only delta 2. Therefore this delta 2 will enter the basis. That is x2 will enter the basis. Now one has to find out the criteria for outgoing vector. How to calculate? Now this is xbi upon xi 2. Correct na?
Yes, ma'am.
xbi upon xi 2. That is xb column upon x2 column. For all the entries of the column, positive. Here the middle entry is 0. Therefore, let me drop this middle entry. Okay, we will calculate for the remaining. xb column upon x2 column. 200 by 2. 100. 420 by 4. 420 by 4 is 1.
105.
105. Good.
105.
Therefore, this minimum is 100. Therefore, this will leave the basis. Therefore, which variable is going to leave the basis now? X4
X4.
is going to leave the basis. X2 will enter the basis. What is my pivot then? 2.
2.
Right? Pivot is 2. Now what to do again? Convert this pivot to unity, remaining entries to 0. I will write the row operation. First row operation is R1 by 2. Is there any need to convert this to 0? It's already 0. Therefore, second row operation we will use is R3 minus. Yes.
2R1.
Yes, R3 minus 2R1. Okay. Let us do row operations. What are the basic variables now? Instead of x4, now we have x2, x3 and x6. Now what is the cost of x2? 2, no? So this is 2, 5 and 0. Check the cost of x2 is 2. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Now second row as it is. Therefore let us write the second row first. 3 by 2, 0, 1, 0, 1 by 2, 0. This is minimum ratio. Correct? Na? This column is for minimum ratio. Then first row divided by 2. This first row we will divide by 2. 200 upon 2, 100. 1 by, minus 1 by 2 divided by 2. Minus 1 by 4. This is 1. Or one thing you can do. X2, X3, X6 are the basic variables. No. Therefore, you can write the columns corresponding to these variables as identity matrix. That is for X2, this is 1, 0, 0. For X3, this is 0, 1, 0. For X6, this is 0, 0, 1. First column of identity matrix, second column of identity matrix, third column of identity matrix. Now write the remaining. For R1 we are dividing by 2. This is 1 by 2. This is minus 1 by 4. Fill in the blanks we have to. Now R3 minus 2 R1. 420 minus 200 into 2. That is 400. 420 minus 400, this is 20. 1 minus 2R1. 1 minus of minus plus 2 into half is 1. 1 plus 1 is it 2. What for this entry? 1 minus minus. And here it is minus of minus plus 2 into half, it is 1. Check. Just do operations. Students, any difficulty up to this?
No, ma'am.
Good. Now we will calculate Z again. What is Z at this stage? 5 into 230, 1150 added with 2 into 100. It is 200. Is it 1350? Net directions now. Delta 1, delta 2. No need to write actually deltas. You can write the values directly there. Now one thing we know, net evaluation corresponds to basic variable 0. Therefore let us write delta 2, delta 3, delta 6, 0. Delta 2, delta 3, delta 6, 0. Calculate for the remaining. Delta 1. CB x1 minus C1 you have to calculate. CB is 2 into minus 1 by 4. This is minus half. Plus 5 into 3 by 2. 15 by half. 15 by 2. Minus 1 by 2 plus 15 by 2. This is
14 by 2, that is
you have to tell
7.
me the values.
7 minus delta 1 is 4, ma'am.
This is 7. 7 minus C1. 5.
7 minus 3.
7 is 7 minus 3. How much is the value then? It's 4.
4.
Now calculate delta 4. This is 2 into half. 1. This is 0. This is 0 minus 0. Therefore, this value is 1. Correct? Delta 5.
Yes, ma'am.
2 into minus 1 by 4. This is minus half. Plus 5 by 2. That is 4 by 2. That is 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Now check all the values here are non-negative. Therefore, if all the values are non-negative, what we have to do? We have to stop the process. And we will write the final optimal solution. Thus, the optimal solution is what is the optimal solution then? What do you think? What will be the value of the original variable x1? As x1 is not present in the basic, means it is non-basic variable. What is the value of x1? 0. Those variables which are not in the basic has the values 0. Therefore, x1 is not there. Therefore, x1 takes the value 0. x2 takes the values 100. x3 takes 230. x1 0, x2 100 and x3 is 230. And what is the value of objective function? This is 1350. 1350. Okay, now check. Any doubt with the problem?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, now let us take one example having minimum objective function. Should I take the same one which I have given for homework?
Yes, ma'am.
3. Minimize z is equal to. Students, if you have the doubts, you can ask now also.
Now it's clear, ma'am.
Okay. Minimize z is this subject to 3x1 minus x2 3x1 minus x2 plus 3x3 less than or equal to 7 minus 2x1 plus 4x2 less than or equals to 12 minus 4x1 plus x1, x2, x3. Okay, let us start. One by one steps we will check. What about the objective function? Not in the maximum form. Therefore, we have to convert it to maximum form. Convert the objective function into maximization form. How can I convert to maximization form? Which relation I am going to use? Minima z is equal to minus maximum of minus z. Okay. One can write what is maximum minus z, or you can write maximum z star also. What is the value? Minus z. If z is this, what is minus z? Is it minus x1 plus 3x2 minus 2x3, where z star we have taken minus z. This is clear?
Yes.
Whatever is z, we have taken a negative sign, and instead of minus z, I have written this as z star, where z star is minus z. Now, the next step, all the right hand side constants are non-negative. Now, we will go for the third step, converting the inequality constraint to equations. Therefore, now what we will do? Adding slack variables. Adding slack variables. Now, three variables are original. Therefore, again I will use x4, x5 and x6. We get. Yes, what we will get? 3x1 minus x2 plus 3x3 plus x4 is equal to 7. Next, minus 2x1 plus 4x2, x3 is absent, therefore I will write 0x3 plus x5 is equal to 12. Next, minus 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 8x3 plus x6 is equal to 10. All the variables are non-negative. Okay. Now can you solve the remaining part now? What you have to do? You have to construct a table like this. Every time instead of writing z, what you have to write here? Z star you have to write. Correct? Z star, and finally that z star we will convert to minus z. Finally the z star we will convert to minus z. Okay? Can I do
Yes,
the
ma'am.
steps, or you are going to do this?
Will do, ma'am.
Yeah. At least try for this. Okay. Someone is asking the problem, no, initially about XBI in that second example. Is it get clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it's clear, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Here I can show you the initial table. What is the initial table? Basic variable CB, XB, X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, X6 and minimum ratio. And CJ at the top. What are the CJ entries? CJ entries of Z star we have to write, okay? Minus 1, 3, minus 2. Remaining are 0, 0, 0. Okay. What are the basic variables? What is the basic variable selected here? Columns corresponding to identity matrix.
X 4
X for
X5.
What are the
X5.
basic variables? Good. X4, X5, X4, X5, X6. What is the cost?
0.
0, 0, 0. What is XB initial basic feasible solution? Right hand side
7,
constant.
12, and 10.
7, 12, and 10. What is X1 vector? 3
3 minus 2, 4.
minus 2 minus 2. For X2 it is minus 1,
Minus 1,
4,
0, 3.
3. For X6 is
Minus 1,
3,
0.
0. No, this is minus 1, 4, 3. No, X2.
Yes, ma'am.
For 0, 0 is for X3. 3, 0, 8. Then it is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. What is the value of Z star?
Zero.
0. For the first table, the value is 0. Later, when we go on improving the solution, the value will increase. Therefore, Z star is 0. What for delta values? Delta values are negative of CJs, right? Delta values
Yes,
are
ma'am.
negative of CJs. Therefore, this is 1, 3, sorry, 1, minus 3, 2, 0, 0, and 0. Correct, na? Then which is the most negative?
Delta 2.
This one, no? Delta 2. Therefore, this is going to enter the basis. What is my leading variable? XB column upon X2 column. But for X2 I positive. Here we have a negative entry. Therefore, we will drop this. Only two we will calculate. 12 by 4 and 10 by 3. 12 by 4 is 3. 10 by 3 is 3.33 something. No? For which is going to leave the basis this variable.
X5.
So how much is the pivot element? 4 is the pivot element. Let us complete this example. What are the row operations? R2 by 4. Correct? Now to convert R1 into an R3 into 0, 0, you have to make use of R2. Correct? That is to convert this minus 1 to 0, you cannot use this 3. You have to use only this R2, row containing the pivot. Correct? Now, this is R1 plus R2 by 4.
Yes, ma'am.
Next R3, R3. This entry I have to convert to 1. Therefore, divide by 4, multiply by 3. Correct? Na? If I divide by 4, it is 1. If I multiply by 3, it is 3. Then we'll take a subtraction. You can write one below the another as I have make the partition. I will rewrite the table. It's me. Basic variable CB, XB, X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, X6 and enumeration. Pj entries are minus 1, 3, minus 2, 0, 0, 0. Now tell me the table entries, row entries. First we will do the row operation R2 by 4. What are the basic variables? X2 enters, X5 leaves. For X4, X2 and X6. This is X4, X2 and X6. Cost will be 0 and 0, and for X2 the cost is 3. Right? Now R2 by 4 we will perform. 3 minus. Okay, one more thing we will do. We will write the columns corresponding to this basic variable. X4 is 1, 0, 0. X2, 0, 1, 0. X6, 0, 0, 1. The remaining variable. R2 by 4, here it is 3, minus half, these middle two are 0, 0. Here it is 3, here it is minus half, the middle two are 0, 0. What for x5? 1 by 4. As here I have to scroll the page, it's more difficult for me to do the calculations. But in your page, it is going to be on the same page, I think, right? So you just do here. I will just write the entry directly. Sorry, I'm just writing the entries directly. Okay, you just cross check. So please cross check the entries. Okay, here the value of z improves to 9. Sorry, z star improves to 9. Now we will write delta entries. Delta entries correspond to basic variable 0. Therefore, 2, 4, 6, 0, 0. The remaining values are minus half, 2 and 3 by 4. Now, which is the negative? This only entry is negative. Therefore, this will is going to enter the basis. Therefore, if I calculate the minimum ratio, the two entries are negative. Therefore, here we will draw only one entry. We will calculate xb upon xb1 upon x11, that is 10 upon 5 by 2, that is 20 by 5, that is 4, and is going to leave the basis. Therefore, this is my pivot. Correct now? Now I will just write all the entries. Now the basic variable is, instead of x4, we have to write x1, x2 and x6. The cost of these variables will be minus 1, 3 and 0. I will write the remaining entries directly now. This is 4, 5, 11. Okay, which are the row operations? We can write the row operations at least. Which are the row operations to be used? R1 into
2
2 by 5. Next, R2 plus R1 by 5. Because if I divide by 5, it will be plus half. Plus half added to minus half, it is 0. And the third one we have to do is, yes, for this third one, R3
Plus R.
plus R1. R3 plus R. You just please make all the row operations sincerely. I am writing here directly. Okay. Let us check net evaluations as well. Z star at this stage will be 11. Now we'll check the delta entries. Delta entries will be 0, 0, 0 for the basic variable. For the non-basic variable, here it is 13 by 5, here it is 1 by 5, here it is 8 by 10. Therefore, all the delta j's are non-negative. Non-negative, we will stop the process. Now what we have to do? We have to write the optimal solution. Z star is minus Z. Now, therefore, if Z star is 11, what about minus Z? Is 11. But what about Z? Minus 11? Hello, students.
Yes, ma'am.
Optimum solution is, what is the optimum solution? X1 is 4, X2 is 5. What for X3 then? How much is the value of X3?
0.
0, no?
0.
Because it is not present in the basic. And here Z star is 11, which is minus Z is 11. Therefore, Z is minus 11. Therefore, this is minima Z is equal to minus 11. Correct now? Any doubt about
Yes,
this methodology now?
no,
Methodology of the solving the problem. Okay. If not, in the next lecture we will go for the next method in which there is one more concept introduced called as the artificial variable. Using the artificial variable, there are two methods: Begin method and two-phase method. We will try to understand Begin method in the last lecture. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. If not, let me conclude myself. I will stop the lecture for today. Thank you for being with me.